Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to Mystic Beauties uh, by Kiki Tarot. I already did pre-shuffle, but I'm just doing a little shuffle here, and then we're gonna get started. This is gonna be the energy for the rest of the month for Aries. Just in time for the holiday. I'm a little late with these, so I'm gonna start. So I started with Pisces first. So I'm gonna start with Aries first for December. But this is to finish out for the rest of the month, the energy for the rest of the month of November. I don't do any personal reads, so you can't get scammed, and I'm only here on YouTube, not anywhere else. Like no TikTok, no Instagram, no nothing. Um, like I said, this is intended for the sun side of Aries. Okay, and let's get started. So positive energy from the universe only. What is the energy for Aries for the rest of the month? What is the energy for Aries for the rest of the month? Positive energy for the universe only. What is the energy for Aries for the rest of the month? Okay. Positive energy only. What is the energy for Aries? Right. What is the energy for Aries for the rest of the month? The Knight of Wands in reverse. Positive energy for the universe only. What is the energy for Aries for the rest of the month of November? Positive energy from the universe. What is the energy for the rest of the month for Aries for November? Nothing's really coming out. We're going to keep trying. Positive energy. Sorry. Okay. So 5 of Wands in the upright. And the Chariot in reverse. Sorry, my light went. I'm not sure if I like that much light. Like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we got the Star in the upright, the 4 of Swords in reverse, and the 8 of Cups in reverse. Overall energy for the reading is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So for the 3D here, we got the Knight of Wands. So it seems like something that you are really passionate about, you had to put at a standstill. And that could be due to some type of conflict that's going on in your life. And it can be like a big challenge for you. And it's caused, and I think you realize that it's causing like a lack of movement. And you really have to slow down in something. But here it's like you're still hopeful. You got the Star card for your 5D energy or your driving force energy, bottom of the deck. You got the Star card in the upright, and then you have the 4 of Swords in reverse. So that kind of tell me, like, even though you have hope, the conflict that you're going through, because it's right here on top, the conflict is in the 3D, and at the bottom in the 5D, it's showing that the conflict is keeping you from sleeping at night. Okay, so it's causing you a lot of mental distress. And here you got the 8 of Cups in reverse. So it's kind of also like you're afraid to walk away from this situation, um, or you're afraid to emotionally detach. And overall energy for the Page of Pentacles, this is giving like you rescinded an offer, or offer was rescinded from you, but it was a small offer anyway. So maybe you rejected it. Maybe that's what the conflict is about, because you rejected an offer and you felt like it was too small for you, or maybe even beneath you. I know you're an Aries, but that's okay, because I know sometimes some Aries, even though they get a bad rep, they can be known to not be in their Aries energy enough and not know their worth. I guess that's what I'm trying to get out there. So Page of Pentacles in reverse is like someone made you an offer, but it was a very small offer. I'm not gonna, yeah, page page offering is kind of low. So it could also make you feel like maybe you worked hard for something and you're not getting what you want. So whatever you were really passionate about, you're rushing in with this Knight of Wands energy, but the conflict caused you to slow down, maybe because they weren't on the same playing field as you, meaning maybe the offer that they gave you made you feel like they tried to lowball you in your worth, whether it could be for a job, a promotion, a romantic situation. Maybe you felt like you were offering more than they offered you when it came to emotional commitment or emotional fulfillment. But it put a slowdown, or it put a slowdown in your situation physically, and you're also physically sort of going through some type of conflict here in the 3D world. And this is just confirming that there's no movement with the Chariot in reverse. You do have some hope that maybe some good is going to come out of it, but it's causing you mental distress, like maybe you're not sleeping at night. And you also are not feeling encouraged to emotionally detach from the situation. Like I said, could be work, family member, friend, or situationship, partner, relationship. And like I said, you thought this offer was really small, or they weren't really offering you enough, or they lowballed you. So we're gonna go ahead and clarify. And I kind of like to put out there sometimes, you know, energy is fluid. It could change. You can change your situation, but also look at the cards. You can hear what I'm telling you, but look at like what the cards are saying and what they could possibly mean to you. If you know a certain card is special to you, or it's a card that kind of stands out to you and how it influences you, think about that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get some clarification here from some clarification cards. I'm just going to try to get 4. So positive energy from the universe only. Can we clarify the situation? Positive energy from the universe only. Can we clarify the situation that Aries experienced in November? So first card that come out was extreme. Oh no, there's a card behind it. So extreme, twin flame, trapped, and anchor. Okay. Um okay. So I don't really like the word twin flame. We can just say we could say soulmate. Now it says reflection of souls, mirrored emotions, your other half, or shared feelings. So you can take it like it is. I kind of want to get rid of this word twin flame. I'm not a twin flame hater. I just don't like people to get caught up in it. But either way, if it's romantic, it could be like maybe you feel like this offer is low and you feel like you had to put a pause on rushing in. But if they're mirroring you, they could feel the same way about you, and maybe that's where the conflict is coming from. Because maybe you feel like you put in some type of effort and they could not feel that way, and they feel like you're not putting any type of effort. So whatever you guys is going on between, maybe it's a job, maybe they feel like you're not putting enough effort, so they're not going to give you a promotion. So just know the situation, even though it says twin flame, it could be someone who's mirroring you. Um, if it is romantic, it could be that they make you feel like they are your other half, and you guys share feelings. But the mirror thing kind of stands out to me in that situation. So it says extreme harshness, cutting off, erratic decisions, and that could be coming with the conflict. Okay, could be whatever is going on, even though we don't mean to be harsh. And this is the Aries read. I'm not trying to put Aries down, or I'm not trying to make it seem like what they're saying is invalid. But Aries is like the Emperor. Aries is like very masculine energy, whether you're male or female. It's just the truth. And a lot of even feminine sort of have to be in their masculine these days. Um, and I'm speaking just from experience of knowing an Aries female and knowing an Aries male, or knowing someone who has a lot of Aries in their chart. Okay, male or female. I know a lot of those people, male or female. So I know that they can, in a way, come off as kind of harsh. And sometimes they could be worried that they're coming off as harsh, but not even harsh enough. So I can say that too. But when it comes to this conflict, maybe you feel like they're being harsh, or you're feeling harsh, or maybe you felt like that it hurt you in a very extreme way that they would offer you such a low offer. Trapped. So stuck, locked down, mental prison, or captive. When I said that you're not sleeping at night, it's causing the conflict is causing you a lot of emotional distress. An anchor could be feel like you being holding it together, getting grip, heaviness, or chained up. So this conflict, what I'm getting for you is this conflict is really messing with you, and like I said, you're having a hard time emotionally detaching. Okay, so that's what I got from that. Let's see if we can get the advice. I feel like you know who this is. Mm. So we got 6 and 12. The lovers and the hangman on the split. You don't have to take that. I normally don't unless it really stands out to me. But that's only, I guess, if it's a romantic relationship, and it kind of relates to you feeling in the hangman a little bit because you are going through a lot of mental distress and you're feeling trapped. Maybe you like wish this person would do more or want more or speak up. But remember that you guys, we got the twin flame card, so you guys could be mirroring each other. And you guys don't have to be twin flames, but you guys could just be mirroring each other. It happens. Okay, so positive energy from the universe only. Kind of like one person doesn't want to reveal too much and the other person doesn't reveal too much because out of fear. Okay, so maybe also think about the perspective of the other person and see how you guys can come into better terms. Sorry, just making sure the microphone's on. All right. Okay. All right. Positive energy from the universe only. Positive energy from the universe only. I'm gonna check this out when I'm done with this. But I get nervous when I don't know. Sometimes I'm just worried that it's not one, but it looks like it's one. All right. Positive energy from the universe only. Positive energy from the universe only. What is the advice for Aries in this situation? What is the advice for Aries in this situation? What is the advice for Aries? Okay, I'm asking. Okay, so 9 of Wands. So normally what's in the upright, it's saying like you have some boundaries, maybe your walls are up, but it's in the reverse. And it's giving maybe it's saying inner resources struggle, um, fatigue, lack of motivation, but maybe like when I say like this, okay, your boundaries are up and that can be good. But maybe it's like you need to not lower your standards, but maybe your walls are too high. And maybe that's why this person offered you a low offer because they weren't sure if they gave you too high of an offer, they would feel rejected. So they might say, "Hey, I think you're a cool person for whatever reason." But they really meant, "I am over the moon in love with you." But they weren't sure how you would perceive "I'm over the moon in love with you" versus "Yeah, I think you're cool." They didn't want to scare you away, but maybe your boundaries or maybe your high walls or maybe you intimidate this person did that. I'm gonna ask for a couple more for advice. Okay, so then we got 10 of Cups in the upright. So this person or this job, like I said, if this is a job, they might feel like you're not putting in the energy, and so they didn't offer you that promotion. And it's like maybe you've had bad experiences with other jobs, or um, you're worried about getting you're worried about keeping the line of professionalism so tight that people can't see the real you to even give you the promotion. Okay, like yes, maybe your work is good, but how are you as an overall person? Unfortunately, yes, in the workplace that can be important, and some people don't vibe with that. Okay, and it can be a lot of pressure. It's not exactly that you should feel like you need to put on a show, but it's a you know, do not blur the lines of professionalism, but also it's okay to express your charisma and your charm. Uh, to maybe network, or to make the boss see that you can be trustworthy. Yes, you work hard, but are you trustworthy? Okay, are they seeing those qualities? But is your wall up too high that they can't even see those qualities because you don't want to blur the lines of professionalism? But this is something that you really want. If this is a person that you really want in your life, or this is your dream job. um I don't know. That was. Let me get one more for advice. To be fair, one more for advice. One more for advice. Sorry, it's a goofy ass smile. But then Knight of Wands. I think it's. I think what it's saying, like, you initially you had the Knight of Wands in reverse, and you stopped everything. You basically put everything. You basically put everything on hold, and you could put a halt on the passion of whatever this, whether it's work or person. And I think it's the advice is that you gotta open up a little bit more. Maybe you're paranoid that someone is gonna hurt you again, or this job is gonna take advantage of you, because we've all been taken advantage of at jobs before, or by a particular boss. Um, Maybe previous management. It's happened to me where I experienced bad management. I love the job, but I experienced bad management. But then, we got better management, and it was very helpful. So I'm sorry if maybe not that you've been through a situation like that before, and you're at a new place and you're worried about blurring the lines of professionalism because you're afraid to be charming. You're afraid to show your charisma, and maybe afraid to show your true self. I'm not saying be unprofessional, but it's okay to do what you have to do to network. If this is a relationship or a friendship or something, I think you were paranoid that this person could hurt you, but this is somebody you really want, and they could possibly want you too. And I think it's saying it's okay to reignite that passion. It says energy, passion, inspired action, adventure, fierceness, and impulsiveness. So I think it's okay, like in the end, to go from this to this and to reignite that passion and to get away from that conflict. Because conflict doesn't mean you're actively uh conflict doesn't have to mean you're actively fighting with them. Conflict could just be like you guys aren't in harmony, you guys aren't in equilibrium, you guys aren't on the same page, you guys aren't talking as much as you want to talk, or you guys someone could be blocked. But it's saying, and maybe because of this, okay, and maybe you offered the small offer and they reacted and they mirrored you. Whatever's going on, you guys are mirroring each other. Okay, so it's up to someone to sort of take that initiative. If you don't want it to be you, I'm sorry, but it seems like you really want this person. They're your end all be all, emotionally fulfilling, and you just need to ignite that passion again. I don't know what's stopping you. I don't know if you're going through something, but think about that. So once again, that's the advice. Um, is that it's okay to to put those not the boundaries, but to relax, realize, hey, if I want this person, I do need to bring the passion back in. And that's the energy that we have now for Aries. Like I say, you don't have to do what I'm saying on the split perception. Okay. So let's just see what we got here. Positive energy from the universe only. What else does Aries need to know before I end this reading? Positive energy from the universe only. What else does Aries need to know before I end this reading? Positive energy from the universe only. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so we got we got rings, union, matrimony, connection of love, amour, eternal, and devotion. So this is a love reading. This is like, I'm sorry, this was like the most romantic reading that I've had out of all of the signs. All the signs got some tough love, but yours is a little tough love. Yours is chill out, work on letting people in, especially if you want this from them because they're mirroring you and igniting your passion. But a lot of people got like self love, tough love, but this is saying like let this person in. Date, okay. Go out, make a date, okay. Get to know someone new, okay. So maybe this, depending on what timeline you're on, maybe you're going to meet this person and you have your boundaries up and you're going to mirror them. But I think it's someone you might know now. And it says mask, so you could be wearing a mask. Maybe you feel like you have to challenge with the conflict, you have to challenge them, and maybe you're mirroring them because maybe you feel like they're giving a little, you're going to give a little. And yes, it is about like give what you get, but also just remember sometimes you have to take that leap. I don't see the full card here, but sometimes you have to take that leap, okay. And put those boundaries down because this is for you. All right, I'm not getting the other person is like that. And then soulmates, connection of love, um love contract, and life companion, okay. So the rings, a date, going out, wearing a mask, and life companion or soulmates or love mates. So I think what it's saying is go ahead and take the leap, ask them out, or try to resolve this conflict. Try to figure out why this offer was so small and get out of that mirroring that you guys are going through. Okay. So that's it. Like I said, it's the holidays. Thanksgiving's coming up. Um, this is your opportunity to make a move, to extend an offer or to extend whatever. I really don't know. But, you know, I'm not saying if you don't know this person well, meet your family, but to this is a time for connection. This is a time to spend with friends and family. If you're into that, I know there's a lot of controversy around Thanksgiving. I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving, but I do acknowledge that it's a great time for people to come together. Okay. So just think about that and remember that advice with the boundaries. And it's okay to ignite that passionate again. Even we all been through something. We all have a past. So just think about that as well and try to get out of that mirrored state. Okay. Try to get out of that. Like, yeah, you guys are trapped in that mirrored state. Like it's weird. Like you're anchored. And you might be extreme about it because you're really afraid of getting hurt again. All right. Thank you and have a good day.